Hello everyone, this is Jeannie Ellis, also known as Scrapbooking Mama. Today I want to share with you a video tutorial that I'm doing for the online magazine Through the Craft Room Door. I'm wanting to show you a necklace that I'm going to be making. First of all, you're going to need these supplies. The chain, the charm. This one is a rectangular piece and you'll notice that it's got a depth in there. That's very important and you'll see why later. Mixed media paper, and various colors of shimmer sprays. Now, the colors on that is totally up to you, but these are the colors I'm using. I'm using, now I can't even see it. It's a gold color, and I'm trying to find the color for it. I think it's called Craft. And this one is a Tattered Angel's Glimmer Mist Honeydew, and then a homemade purple. And then I've also got a, let's see, this one's Pearl. Plus, what you're going to need is Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. I also use a paper towel and wipes and things like that as I go along. Now, the colors are up to you on which color you put on first, but I usually go ahead and start out with a darker color, and then if I need to, I go ahead and lighten it up. So, I'm going to go ahead and try out with the purple first. Let me get a paper towel. I'm going to stick it underneath here. I'm going to get me another piece of paper towel. Actually, I'm going to get a couple of the smaller pieces. I'm going to kind of use it as a guard. I do have a guard, but it's kind of awkward to try to record in it. So here's my first start, my purple. And I'm just going to kind of randomly spray it. It doesn't matter how, where, or anything, because I'm going to end up using the best part, cut it out, and put it into the little triangle piece or rectangular piece. Okay, now I'm going to dry that because I don't really want to blend a whole lot. Okay, now you'll see that there are, the color has lined up quite a bit, which is normal for the mist colors to do. You want that to happen so it doesn't get too dark of a piece in there. So, the next step is another color. I'm going to go ahead and go with, let's see, I think I'll go ahead and go with the gold this time. And just shake it up a little. You don't up and down, just kind of roll it like this. Now, it may not look like a whole lot right now, but it will come together. And I'm going to be heat drying it again. Each step, I'm going to be heat drying it. So use my heat gun. As you go along, it may not look like a whole lot, but it changes and you can always add other colors into it. So you really don't know what it's going to be looking like until you get to that point where you're close to the end. Now I'm going to be using a honeydew mist. If I can squirt it, that is. No, I'm going to have to get my other green out. This green here is on the same, maybe a little bit, a couple shades darker, but it's another homemade one. Okay, so I just simply squirt again. I want to kind of get in some of the bare spots on this. And it will curl up, but that's okay. That's natural. It's going to do that. And you can see how it kind of shimmers, and that's what we want. So right now I've got 3 different colors in there. I'm going to use a little bit more of the green in here because I don't think I got enough. So the point of it is right now is to go from layer to layer to layer. So it can change at any time. I'm going to put some more purple into it. Some more green. No, let's put some more of the craft into it. Let's see, maybe more green. And I kind of like the way this part right here did that. That's a cute little design right there. So we may end up going with that if it still stays that way. But right now what I'm going to do is add some of the pearl to it. And the reason I add the pearl to it because it lightens it up a lot, but yet it gives that pearl finish to it. And you can see that it's got some good shine to it. Okay, now here's the finished piece. I don't know how well you can tell it from here. Let's see if I can get some more lighting into it. There we go. There's a lot of pearl and glistening and things going on there, so that's really good. So I need to go ahead and dry it some more. Okay, now I'm going to stop and then I'll be right back. Okay, now you see I have my paper all colored up, and I've even cut out a couple of the pieces to see which one I like better. So what initially I did was take a 4x4 sheet of paper, colored the whole sheet because I didn't know what pattern I would want, and the colors I wanted to make sure they were the way I wanted them. I could use just about any color or pattern in here, make more necklaces with it, do other things with it. But the pieces that I thought were the best were this one and this one. And I don't know how well you can see it in the video, but it's got little patterns in here. Plus I got colors on my fingers. But I think I like this one the best. So we're going to try both of them. And what I did to get out that shape was I measured this piece here, and it was a 1x2 piece. But when I cut it out 1x2, it didn't fit. So I had to cut off 1/8 of an inch. So my charm, my large charm, is a 1x2 inch, but my paper is a 1x1 7/8 inch paper. So now the next thing I've got to do is that I've got to glue it down. Now I can't just use a hot glue because I really am afraid that if I did a hot glue, it would bubble up inside. So I'm choosing to do a liquid glass, or actually let's see, art glitter glue is what I'm using. Because the reason being, because it says that it's an industrial strength. It dries quickly, it cures in about 4 hours. So my next step is going to be using this. And I'm going to try to make it as thin as possible. Let me get a wet wipe. Also, I need to make sure I've got pictures of this also, though, so that's one of the reasons I'm pausing. Okay, now I'm taking my finger again. I'm going to go over it. And I may have put a little too much in it because you don't want it to be too much in there, but enough that it's going to hold. And I'm even going to take my wet wipe, kind of get some off the edge a little bit, because that dimensional glue is going to help with that too. And I personally, I may not even have to do that. I may be able to just use the Mod Podge glue on it. I don't know that for sure. I've never done that, so we're going to keep doing it the way I want to do it. Okay, now I said I wanted that one, but this looks pretty cool too. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this here because there's a pattern in it. So now I just stick it in there, press it down really good using my fingers. I'm going to have to keep pressing because if I don't keep pressing, I need to keep pressing it. Okay, and that looks like it's gone down really, really well. So that should work on that. Let me check it one more time. Feels like it's in there really good. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but isn't that really, yeah, there it is. Isn't that really pretty? I really, really love that. I'm happy with that. You just never know what it's going to look like until you get started. And just make sure it's just a thin color. You don't want it too thick. Okay, now we're going to set these guys aside. Now the trickier part is to get this in here without too much and overdoing it. It says not to shake it because it can cause bubbles, so I'm not going to shake it. So my next step, of course, is to get it open. And what I like about this is it's got a real thin piece to a tip to it. So this is your Mod Podge Dimensional Magic, it calls it. It adds dimension to your projects. Now, even though I didn't shake it, I still had a bubble. So we're going to hope for the best here. It's supposed to dry in 3 hours. And it makes you wonder, well, now how in the world is it going to do a bubble, dimensional, if it goes on so flat? We will find out for sure. And it will dry clear. It'll look a lot like glass. See if we can get that bubble out because we don't need the bubble. May have to use a pick or a needle. Let's see if a needle will help get that out. There we go. Handy little tip there. A needle or something to get that bubble out. Just pop it right out. And I want to make sure I get close to the edge there. Get over the corner. So, there it is. And now, all I've got to do is let it dry. And I'll see you back in 3 hours. Okay, now I want to show you the final piece that I did. After my Mod Podge had dried, I simply attached the chain, and it came with the little hook on the back. So all that came together, and there you have a pretty new necklace. And very unique because no one else has this same exact design. So I hope that you will try this. It's a fun project and easy to do, and you can make a ton of different necklaces using a 4x4 sheet of paper and coloring it up. As I still have these, I can do different shapes with them. I can do circles, I can do hearts, I can do whatever I want, and you'll have different necklaces that you can mix and match and wear together like a shorter chain or something. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will look at all the other design team members and all their tutorials and have a great time looking through the magazine. Thank you and have a great day.